In its first full season, Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live reached over 2 million people. Crazy if you think about it. We see this as more than just a podcast. It's a movement to bring the spotlight to the tracks, racers, and fans of Kentucky dirt racing. We've got a lot to talk about and a lot of people to talk to. This is Kentucky's Dirt Racing Podcast. Welcome to another edition of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction.
All right, welcome into a brand new episode, another week, another episode here of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, right in the middle of racing season, really starting to heat up here in the Bluegrass State. This is Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. We really appreciate them and their help with our show and their support over the last couple of years. Be sure to give them a call for all your home construction, restoration needs, any of that good stuff. They can help you out there right there on Berea Road going out of Richmond. Their office is anyway, but give them a call. This is the Wilson Plumbing Studio. We appreciate our good buddy Robbie Wilson coming on board with us here this year, and I know for any of your plumbing needs, he's over there in West's part of the state, but I'm sure he'll travel from there and take care of any of your plumbing needs as well. So you can also call the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline. That's 859-412-1287. We look forward to hearing from everybody here tonight in the comment section as well, but also give us a call on that hotline. We heard from a few folks there at the end of the show last week, so we'd like to hear from some more, Wes. It's always a lot of fun hearing from everybody and being on here. So let's roll with it.
We like to hear from you all, and just give us a call on that hotline.
That's right, the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline. We look forward to hearing from you. Big show lined up here. So I was trying to do the normal stuff that I do on the Facebook page to try to get as many people on here as we can. You know, I talk to a whole lot of people that say they don't get the notifications, man, that we're live anymore. And, you know, Facebook's always changing stuff, and seems like I see the same thing. Like a lot of times I don't even see a lot of the stuff I'd like to, and you know, you go to certain pages like, man, I didn't even know they've been posting. So like, yeah. Facebook's weird about not putting stuff in your feed. So share this out, get it out to all your friends and stuff, because what I used to do to try to help get everybody on here, now Facebook won't let me do it. So we're just figuring it out as we go. But let's try to get as many people as we can on here, man, because it's going to be a fun show. It was a great week of racing nationally last week. A lot of things going on across the country, and then right here at home, man. Going to talk about that. We got Bo Gilley coming on the show here with us. I'm really excited about that, Wes.
Yeah, I am too.
I want to talk about that truck, you know.
Yeah.
He built this truck, man, and we got to talk about it.
Yeah, he's tough to beat in that truck.
He is. Yeah, yeah, he really is. So I want to talk about the truck, man. You know, one of the things that, you know, something that people who and I'll tell you, before, when I had, you know, just been in the grandstands my whole life and never drove a race car, I didn't realize just how hard it is. These guys who are really good at, like, building a piece, you know, building a race car, putting their minds to it. They understand. They know what they want. They formulate it in their minds. They make it happen. And then they also got to be able to drive it and go out there and win. But the aspect of racing, of these guys who are really good at building something that's fast, you know, is something that I never really understood till I got out there and got my butt kicked plenty of times and realized just how good these guys are at doing that. So it's going to be a fun conversation. I can't wait.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Got a great show on tap tonight.
Yeah, for sure. So like I said, please go ahead and share this out. Let's get some more people on here since Facebook's decided to take away my little trick I've been using all this last couple years to get our people on here with us. So, all right, let's go ahead and just talk a little bit about the last week or so in racing, man. A couple things I want to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about local stuff here in just a minute, but let's talk about a couple things regionally and nationally this last week, buddy. There are two ways. There's top two ways that you can assure yourself that a lot of people in the pits will hate on you, and this is scientific proof, man. There's scientific proof behind this, Wes. I'm just wondering if you can guess what are the top two ways you could have a lot of people in the pits hate on you. What do you think they are? And in the comment section, you let me know what do you think the two ways are.
Are you thinking from a driver's perspective, or a fan?
Yeah, people in the pits. I'm talking about like drivers, their family, their friends, their pit crew, all that. What's the top two ways you could have a bunch of people hating, man? They just
a missed call.
Yeah.
On the track. A tech issue with a car. Let's see. Drivers and fans thinking that there's favoritism. Calling a rain out when they think that you should have raced, or vice versa. I don't know. That's just a couple off the top of my head.
Yeah, those are pretty good, man. Like, and all those are very accurate. But the scientific proof, multiple studies have been done on this, and it's been found that the top two ways to have a bunch of people hating on you, I'm talking about family, friends, pit crew, other drivers, all that. There's two ways. One, you can wreck a bunch of people. That'll get a bunch of people pissed off at you.
Yeah.
You're rough, man. It don't take long till you got a lot of people in the pits just can't stand you. It happens all the time. That's one.
Yeah.
That's one of the two in no particular order. And the other one is you just win too daggone much, right?
Right.
I mean, and there's a science to that too. Like, I think a guy can win quite a bit. Maybe say 25% of his races, and he's all right. But a guy gets starting to win 75, 50, 75% of the time he comes out, and now all of a sudden there's a lot of people in the pits that don't like that guy.
They keep yelling cheater, because if you're winning, you're cheating.
Nobody can win. And look, I've said this before. We've talked about this.
It don't matter who it is. It don't matter if it's in a super late model.
Don't matter.
Or if it's in front-wheel drive mini stock, if it's in a crate, if it's in a modified, if it's in a Crown Vic, if it's in a street stock, if it's in a hobby stock, it don't matter. Sprint cars, midgets, whatever.
That's right. No. At no time in history has anybody ever been able to be fast and win a bunch without cheating. And I said this before. I can't prove that they're not. But I'm just saying, if you talk to a lot of people, if somebody's winning too much, they're always like, nobody can just be fast or good or have a lot of talent. They're always cheating. So, I think those are the top two ways you can assure yourself you're going to be hated by more than enough people in the pits. Win too much is one of them.
Right.
It is. I guarantee it. Nobody like you. You can win some, and most people still like you. Like, it's okay. But
you start dominating, they gonna hate on you,
and they can't stand you.
Right.
Every time. It never fails. So, Angie Matters says, or have a crazy wife. Yeah. I agree with that. One's up there, but it's not one of the top two. Like I said, according to, I think Harvard did a study a couple years ago, and that's what they come up with. So, wreck too many people, too rough, or you just win too daggone much, and nobody can stand you. Cheat. So, it's the truth, and it is, right? Like I mean, it is. It's just the truth. So, all right, Blake Brown. Well, we got to have a serious conversation, Wes.
Well,
He
I
wins
told
too
you.
daggone much,
Listen,
too.
listen.
Let's just be honest. He
I,
wins.
I told you. I told you. I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and I've noticed this, and then I've also heard it from several people throughout the pits.
Yeah.
This year, it's like Blake was good last year in that modified, but this year he's on a different level. He's focused, and for what he done this past weekend in the land of Lincoln is very, very impressive. I mean, if you all didn't watch that race, go back and watch the race at Farmer City. Last lap pass coming out of 4. I mean, he made a new groove on the racetrack, similar to what Nick Hoffman did earlier at the World of Outlaws race. But daggone, what a race! And
listen,
it's just awesome for him to go up there, and he's got to do that a couple times and run there in Illinois at Farmer City, Fairbury, those type tracks. But just tickled to death that hometown boy that I have watched race from day one. I've watched him at Corbin Speedway in a mini cup car, and it was game over after that. He raced in anything and everything, and to see his success just is awesome, and just tickled to death for him.
Well, to go, and I was joking, of course, but if you talk to a lot of people, look, Blake Brown, man, and I just Blake Brown, he's not everybody loves Blake Brown. He wins too daggone much, but look, you just got to be honest about this thing. You go to their track, to the Midwest. And everybody talks about the Midwest, man. Those drivers, those tracks, they're the best of the best. That's all you hear about. Midwest, man, you can't beat them. And Blake Brown goes to Farmer City and their place.
Yeah.
At their track and beats every single one of those guys. And I don't care, man, if you're just able to be honest, you gotta hand it to him. He's got to be one of the best modified drivers, like easily top 5 in the country. That has to be one of the hardest things to do, to go to their place, a place that you're not nearly as familiar with as they are.
Right.
Their track, their guys, and you go down there and you beat every stinking one of them. You got to be like a really good race car driver to be able to pull that off. I mean, honestly, you really do. It takes talent to be able to. It takes a good car, don't get me wrong, but it takes talent to be able to do what he did this weekend. Because not only the win, but then also a top 5 at Fairbury. He backed it up with that.
Right, and then let's go back another week or two. He ran that 10,000 win makeup race at Eldora from the Dirt Track World Championship, and I want to think he got 6th in that. So I mean, very, very impressive. Just got to brag on our buddy. And yeah, you've got to put him up there right now, across the country, as one of the best modified drivers in 2024.
Yeah, I don't think you can logically question it. Like, even if you don't like him, you can't. It's hard to argue. Even if someone didn't like it, it'd be hard to argue that he's not one of the top 5 or maybe even 3. The top right now, if you were to rank this week, modified drivers in the country. And it's just really cool to see, like you said, somebody from right here in Corbin, Kentucky. We see him every weekend around here at our tracks and go out there to the Midwest and win like that. It was just that's impressive. It is.
The tidal wave terror.
The tidal wave terror. Brown. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Really cool.
Had to talk about that because he's just really been on a tear this year, and he's got that car and that team set on kill, and just cool to see him go and run outside of his comfort zone and still compete top 5s and winning it at Farmer City. So
yeah.
Awesome job.
And what a pass. It was just awesome, man. I
was.
I was sitting in the recliner, man. It was just, the family was already asleep.
Oh,
and here I was.
I'm sitting there in the recliner screaming and hooping and hollering and like I was there.
I know, man. Yeah, it was cool. It was. So, well, a couple of other things. Hudson O'Neal and Bobby Pierce both struggled big time this past weekend at out there at Farmer City and Fairbury. Bobby Pierce misses the show at Farmer City, struggles at Fairbury. Hudson O'Neal uses a provisional at Farmer City, struggles at Fairbury. Just kind of surprising to see for both of those guys, but Roberson wanted me to ride you a little bit about being a Bobby Pierce fan and his struggles with missing the show and everything at Farmer City. I saw him at Richmond. He said I had to mention it since you were a big Bobby Pierce fan. But more with Hudson, because I think Bobby Pierce will figure it out. But kind of makes you wonder with this change from the Rocket One and going back to the Longhorn and doing his own thing right now. Maybe it makes you wonder if it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle than I think any of us realized it was going to be. Because it was just surprising to see him struggle like he did.
Yeah, and that's a big possibility. Going from the Rocket car to this new deal, new team with the Longhorn, and it's something. And I guess you really don't look at it. It's like, this is Hudson O'Neal. It's one of the best drivers right now in the country, and when you get them little hiccups and a change, you're thinking, well, how's he going to react to this? He's not going to struggle. And then when he does, it's like, oh man, this is definitely not what we was expecting. And then, to go back and talk about 2 tracks that Bobby Pierce cut his teeth at. I mean, he ran those kid modifieds at Farmer City. Mm-hmm. One of the tracks that, those 2 tracks he dominates at. And for him to struggle, that's a rare deal. And I know it was the buzz, everybody that talks racing here locally. I know all of us was talking about it. And then, across the nation too. Bobby just don't struggle at those 2 tracks. And you look at it, you're like, well, everybody can have an off weekend every now and then, but not at Farmer City and Fairbury. So
not for him.
Just one of them deals. Who knows? Could have been a bad tire choice. I don't know. So you got to look at all those factors, but little Bobby will bounce back. He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. Before you know it, Wes will be laying on the front stretch at Charlotte with him again, helping him hug the trophy. So all will be well in the Bobby Pierce world. So, well, locally here this past weekend, I went just a few minutes up the road to Richmond Raceway. It was a really good night there. I enjoyed it. Thought it was a great night at the racetrack. I always think that's the case, but Jason Barrett won the crate late model feature there, pro late model feature. His first win in a few years. Kind of heard a few different. Some said 2, 4, 6. I don't know. It's been a while since he had won, so it was really cool to see him pick up that win. I talked to him right before the feature, and he said, "Man, this crate stuff is harder than most people think." He said, it's just, you got to be on it. Like, you can't mess up with these guys. The cars are so close together and so even. There's so many good drivers in it these days. He said, there's just no room for error, and it's been tough. He's had good runs lately. He said on the pole a few weeks ago there with at the race at Richmond and had some good runs, but he just couldn't put a whole night together. So to see him finally put that night together and see him back in victory lane was really cool. I grew up there at Richmond watching Jason race, so fun to see that. They had the Crown Vics there for the first time at Richmond this past Saturday night, and they were top 4, was about bumper to bumper the whole race. So that was really fun to see. Collis won the Superstock race, and I can't remember. Somebody had to remind me. It was it was the modified series there at Richmond on Saturday night. Can't remember the guy's name who won, but Ben Harmon won, was leading most of the feature, and he just didn't go on a restart, it got past there later on in the race, and like I said, he just didn't fire. And after the race, he said he didn't hear it on the it was Profit. Yeah, that's it. Said he just didn't hear over the receiver there going back green. He didn't fire, and everybody else did, and heard the call over the receiver. And bad way to lose a race, man. But I guess you got to be ready when that green flag drops. So hated to see him lose it the way he did, but everybody, most of the guys around him jumped all over the opportunity. So yeah, it was a good night though. Like I said, overall, really enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah, I hated to hear about that happening to Ben. Yeah, that's definitely a bad way to lose one, but yeah, hate to hear that for him. Kind of changing gears a little bit. I went to Lake Cumberland Speedway. Had another really good night at the racetrack. It's just always enjoyable to week in, week out, make a trip to the track and see all of our buddies. Friends that are more like family. It's always good to see everybody there at Burnside. Modified, open wheel modified winner. Brian Barber stays hot and wins that race. Great Lake model Skylar Marler picked up the win. He's got that 257 rolling.
Yeah.
Front wheel drives, Dustin Duncan won, and so Jumping Josh gets 1 point on the steak dinner challenge.
I'm on the board, man. Finally, it's like we're halfway through May, and I'm finally on the board. So
yeah, last year it was like 17-15, and it's 2-1 this year. So
yeah, I know we're struggling, man. We're bad.
Crazy. That was a good race between Dustin and Eric, and just a back and forth battle. So that was good. That was a big win for Dustin Duncan, 1,500 to win. And then David Marler picked up the hobby stock win, and I'm trying to think of the guy's name that won the Crown Vics. Just dominated it.
He's the same guy that's won the races.
Yeah.
He's like a father's
He's from
son.
Indiana. Yeah, I think it's a father's son, and both of them they ran off and left everybody else.
Yeah.
Those two are definitely dialed in. They're in a different league right now. So but just a great night of racing. Just hats off to Brandon Hargrove and his staff there at Lake Cumberland, and fingers crossed we got another big weekend coming up this weekend. So hopefully the weather will cooperate.
Yeah, I hope so, because it don't look good right now, but hopefully it'll turn around, man. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle too, and you hate that for these racetracks to me, because it really Cranmer is the last name of those guys in those Crown Vics.
But, they got it's a 14 car and a 15 car, and they are hammered down.
Yeah. Yeah, but the weather, it's been a real struggle for the racetracks too. And when the forecast looks iffy, it really hurts tracks. I feel like when it comes to crowds and stuff, a lot of people, it get to questioning whether or not they want to go and all that stuff. So be glad to see that forecast, this cycle we're in right now, change for the better when it comes to weekend rain, because it hadn't been friendly for sure. So hopefully this weekend will start looking better.
I got the faith, Terry. We're gonna race this weekend.
That's right. We're gonna race. That's right. All right, let's go to a commercial break here, and here in just a minute we're gonna come back and we'll talk to Bo Gilley about the truck. I'm ready for it, man.
The Bo Show.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Chris Lowry with Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. From simple service work to full paints, roofing, flooring, and everything in between, we're your one-stop shop for your home maintenance and remodeling needs. Our family has been serving the Richmond area for 3 generations, and we're proud to continue that today. You also voted us the best general contractor in Madison County in 2022. We thank you for that honor. Give us a call for all your construction needs at 859-353-1133.
All right, welcome back to Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live. This guest segment here is brought to you by Fast Track Plumbing, and we'll also call this our. Let's see. I forgot this last week. Our driver of the week is presented by. Who is it, Wes? I forgot it again. Who's the
Wayne's Auto Repair?
Wayne's Auto Repair, man. Poor Wayne. I feel bad. The guy who supports racing as much as he ought to be able to remember who supports our driver of the week. But hey, man, I do the best I can, and you back me up every now and then too.
Always.
So that's always good. Well, we're back on here with Bo Gilley, the man with the truck. That's what we're going to call him.
Look at him, got his sunglasses on. Looks like Richard Petty.
Oh, man,
There's the king,
he's got
baby.
The sunglasses on. He's the king. All
guys,
he's missing.
What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yep.
All right.
Loud and clear, man. Yeah, you got the glasses. You just need the truck, buddy. That's all you're.
Well, we got it. We got it. We brought it.
Look, hey, there it is.
It's back there. We got the truck. Usually on these things, Wes, we start out with tell us how you got into racing and all this stuff. No,
Not with Bo.
Not with Bo. No, we just want to talk about the truck, man. It's I don't know, Wes. Unless you've been hiding under a rock, this truck he's built's kind of been a hot topic.
Everybody and their brothers talking about it. and here's the cool thing. So that truck, what it reminds me of is the classic race at Corbin back, years and years ago. That truck right there reminds me of that class, and that was one of my favorite classes, to watch growing up.
Yeah. Reminds me of Ron Hornaday in the Craftsman
Ron
Truck
Hornaday.
Series. Yeah. So, yeah, just fun to watch. But hey, I'm just curious though. You've been in the sport for a long time. You've been winning for a long time. I imagine that when you decided to put this truck together, you expected what most people didn't. Because I think most people are like, it's a truck. What could possibly happen? It'd be all right. You come out in this thing, man, and you're just absolutely dominating in this truck, driving people crazy.
We hit the nail on the head. We didn't expect. We expected to have to work on it, but out the box, we just hit the nail on the head. And I know it's the most controversial hobby stock, period. But but it matches all the rules. The wheelbase same. We run the same A-arms as everybody else. Same rear end. We built the truck over the winter to the rules and for Thunder Mountain rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't line up with the Lake Cumberland rules, but they've changed a few of them to let some of the Thunder Mountain guys come over, but they didn't change the part where I could come over. But I understand that. I know none of them want me to come over because they'll finish another spot back. The talk is with any class that 2, 3, 4 drivers usually leave the pack.
Yeah.
Leave the pack. That's the guys that usually work on their stuff harder.
Mm-hmm.
They are more experienced. It's a number of things, but some guys leave the pack. Yeah. And them guys work really hard that leaves the pack like that.
Yeah.
And the other ones might work as hard, but they may not have the experience or the right kind of help to help them get there.
Yeah.
But we work on our stuff really hard. And the whole thing about the hobby stocks are getting out of hand. I raced at Corbin 20 years ago, and that was the same story then. They're getting out of hand then. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Everybody that tries is going to try to do something to be faster.
Right.
They're going to work in the garage. They're going to try hard, and and every car on the racetrack, if you wanted to nitpick them, every car on there you could disqualify if you wanted to.
Right.
The guy that's in the back don't know how to do it, but probably cheating worse than anybody.
Yeah.
But any car on the racetrack, you could DQ at any time you wanted to, if you wanted to nitpick them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I probably cheated more than anybody. I just didn't realize it wasn't fast enough for it to matter, so it's fine.
He was that guy in the back you was talking about, Bo.
That's right. Yeah.
He didn't know he was
If I didn't have the right help, I wouldn't be up there. If I didn't have the right help,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be up there. That's for sure. Everybody supports me, and Ed Murray drove one of those trucks.
He sure did.
It.
Yes. Listen.
And we didn't build it to be a cheating truck. We built it to be by the rules.
Right.
And we're still bottom.
Ed Murray was he was a hammer in the day.
Hey, he's hard to deal with. I raced against him. He was hard to deal with.
He was one of them, like Josh was talking about, that nobody liked because he won every week.
Second or third.
And then the thing about Ed would just grin about it. He'd win, be in victory lane, and he'd just be laughing at everybody. Hold that flag up like this right here, boy, and just he'd be like, "I'm gonna go get a haircut on Saturday morning because I'm gonna win."
Yeah, yeah.
But even though I think in the 20-year ago versus now, the mentality about it's just completely different. Used to, we would. If you wasn't a front runner, you'd go work hard. You didn't want to be the guy to go up there and say, hey, I'm talking about being crybabies.
Yeah.
Talking about the crybabies is worse now than it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you had more pride, seems like. And you would want to go work hard on your stuff. And that's how tracks got bounties on people. Mm-hmm. If you win so many times, you get other track drivers coming to your track so you can get a bounty.
Yeah.
Put on you to draw more. And you win 3 and you have to start in the back of the feature.
Right.
You can't do that no more because they cry so bad that they ain't gonna let you win 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. They ain't gonna let you get a bounty on you so they can draw more drivers from other tracks to come after the bounty.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I said this at the beginning of the show, and I truly believe this. Most of the people in the stands, or even if they're in the pits, they don't drive race cars. They don't realize the aspect of these guys, man. Guys like you who can put their minds to, and your crew and whoever you've got helping you. You put your mind to that car, and you figure out a way with that car within that set of rules to make it faster and faster. And how could I make that car fast? That's the toughest part of racing. Like, it's easy-ish to go out there and hit the skinny pedal. That the hard part is figuring out what can I do to this car to make it within this set of rules. And maybe you're pushing the gray areas, and you got to, right? Am I wrong about that?
Absolutely. A lot of guys though can't do that. A lot of guys can't build a car. They got to go buy a car. They ain't got the right tools or the knowledge. Some guys just can't build a fast car.
Right. He's talking about me again, Wes. Hey,
I love what y'all's doing on here, man. It's awesome. This is cool.
Yeah.
I support what y'all are doing 100%.
Yeah. Well, we sure appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, it's true in any class. It don't matter.
I've hopped it up. I knew before this year started that our truck ain't lined up with the rules at Lake Cumberland. But I knew before this year started that controversy was going to say, by the time the end of the year, they're going to be like, oh, well, we'd like to see that truck race, maybe Marlar, and see what had happened after the talk here gets going, and it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. If I go over and race or not, it's still. I love everything about racing. Everything. I love the gravel in the parking lot to the people in the stands. I love everything about racing.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to love that aspect of it, too, as far as working on the car, changing things, figuring things out, trying this, trying that, and what can I do different? You got to love that part of it.
Yeah, everybody else needs to dig after that, too, though. Everybody else needs to work on their stuff and dig hard. Winning ain't easy. Winning is not easy. You got to work your butt off to win. Winning is definitely easier from the stands.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this all kind of brings up a good point to my mind. When Scott Bloomquist was dominating, it's because he worked hard to find the ways to make that car that much better to win every single night that he showed up. And when he showed up, everybody there was running for second through 24th. He was going to win because he was dominating, and he was working week in and week out, trying to figure out how to make his car better than anybody else's that showed up. And that's the mentality you got to have.
Yes, he's the man. Yes, I agree 100%. 100%. You got to work hard. And when you find something, you don't let it out.
Yeah.
You don't let it out. Like Davenport was so fast for those few years. And he's still fast, but he found something that the rest of them didn't find.
Yeah.
And when you find something, we found something this year, and it's probably something that I was worried about it. Yeah. I was like, Ed, I don't know if it's going to work. It's something you don't do, something you don't normally do. And we went about this the other way than you usually do, and it works. And we're not letting it out. We're not telling what we did.
No.
So what you're saying is it's not just the fact that you built. It's not just the truck. It's something else you found that maybe the truck might have something to do with it, but it's not just the fact that you built a truck. So, no,
it's knowledge. It's years of knowledge. There's so many years of knowledge in this class. This class alone has been around, and we're making cars do things that cars are not supposed to do. Late models are supposed to do that. We got grocery getters and something you'd haul a little load of firewood in, and we're making it go fast around the track. Yeah. It's just awesome.
You held the track record in a Camaro. It ain't just the truck.
Yeah, I mean, we got the track record at Thunder Mountain in the Camaro. It ain't just the truck.
Yeah.
We work hard on whatever we fool with.
Yeah. So you haven't even beat the track record in the truck then. You still hold it in the Camaro?
Yeah, I did, but it was a night where I went to Dairy Queen. I got DQ'd.
Oh, you got DQ'd. Oh, man. Yeah.
But I understand. It'd be so hard to be a track promoter and a track owner and trying to please everybody and try to pacify everybody. I understand that part of racing too. And I know that they do their best to try to please everybody. And they work hard at it.
Yeah.
I ain't bashing no tracks at all. They work hard at trying to keep everybody there. Mm-hmm. But going back to where the crying used to not be in there like it was 20 years ago, it's different now. Yeah. And it's taken me a minute to try to adapt to it. I've just been back racing for like 4 years. So it's different times for sure than 20 years ago, taking off 20 years racing and then coming back.
But you're still using those concepts and that knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I had never raced dirt, just asphalt at Corbin. And, you're either loose or pushing. Don't matter if you're on asphalt or dirt. It's the same concept throughout it all. And our truck stays straight. Our truck don't break loose and go sideways. The best way to keep traction is never lose traction. So we work hard on our handling.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I do have to say too, because I knew you got DQ'd there a couple of weeks ago, and we have a running joke here on the podcast about nobody gets out of the car and says in Victory Lane that they get DQ'd. Nobody gets out of the car and says I just really like to thank this racetrack for DQing me tonight. I mean, no one has that response. It's not like, man, I really appreciate these guys for DQing me. No, that never happens. Usually,
it was a bit of a misunderstanding. I mean, it was a bit of a misunderstanding. We'll change anything they want us to change on a race car. If they look at it, say it's okay, it's okay. If they look at it and say we need to change this, we will change it. But it was the second night, and it was a misunderstanding. We would have definitely changed the one thing. We changed it and we won the third race. So it didn't slow us down. That wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, you went back out and won, but I want to say I respect the fact that you didn't, after you got DQ'd, you didn't spend the next 2 weeks getting on there and bashing the racetrack about it. Because
I understand racetracks and what they go through, and they have to try to satisfy everybody.
Yeah, and most of the time, Wes, and you know I'm right, that's what ends up, everybody says, I want more tech, I want more tech, I want them on the car, until they get DQ'd, and then usually it's like 2 weeks of running the track in the mud, and I just think it's really cool that you didn't do that, because most of the time, that's what happens.
No, there's cars behind me that I know, and I know what's on the cars, and I'm not going to go run and tell that this has got this and this has got that. Heck, they need to work on their stuff a little more, so they need more to get to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't want to make you take one wheel off so I can beat you. I want to beat you at your best.
Yeah.
And beating somebody at their best ain't making them slow their car down. It's you making your car faster and then going beating them.
Yeah. The challenge of outrunning somebody with your best against their best. And
yes. Don't
out.
make them change their stuff and try to slow them down and then try to beat them. That ain't the way I do it.
Yeah. I got you, man. All right, Wes. Do you remember? So, Wes, do you remember Bo Gilley from the Corbin Speedway?
Absolutely.
We run the B3.
Yes.
Monte Carlo, Camaros. Yeah.
I remember, and I'm telling you, racing's good now, but those were the good old days at Corbin.
Yes. And I want to go put a show on, and I know the fans want a show.
Yeah.
They don't want to see everybody line up and finish where they started. They want to see cars passing cars. They want to see some action, not just wrecks, but they want to see good racing. And good racing is what me and my boy both. My boy's right here with me. When we go to win, and we go to put a show on. Yeah. And the fans love us. We got out the last race, and the fans, we won in a truck, and the fans, I actually looked for this, and they was cheering from one side of the stands to the other. Yeah. And I love all the fans. I love them. That's my people.
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, it you look however many years ago that was, but Bo's not changed. I mean, he was the same then as he is today. I mean, just nothing's changed other than years between it.
Yeah. I got a picture of my boy. He was so little. He was like 2, 3. We brought a tricycle to Corbin, and he got him a little trophy with and I got to hold him there and let him ride his tricycle in the bicycle race.
Yeah.
But he was that little on the racetrack, winning then.
Yeah. Yeah, we were at Lake Cumberland a couple. Was that last year or 2 years ago? I can't remember. We were there when he won his first feature there at Lake Cumberland.
Yes. Yeah, him and Jim Rowlands here with me. Both.
Yeah, I think I got to interview him in Victory Lane after that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's crazy. I mean, he's a little bit of a nut there. He's
things like that are extra special for the driver when they get there first. But it's cool that I've got to interview some after races that they first feature wins, and that's just really special too.
Oh,
It is. I love that part. I love seeing people do stuff that I've already done. Like watching my boy grow. I don't like much racing anymore because I can't watch him. I would almost rather watch him than race.
Yeah.
Myself, because I'm seeing him grow and do things that I've already been there and done.
Yeah. And he's in your old hobby stock this year, is that right? Is he
he's running the 62. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Doing good in it. Doing real good in it. He's keeping it. He's finished every race.
Yeah.
He ain't lost it yet. So he's had some decent finishes. We got to fix it for him. We got to work on the car. So and we will work on it, and we'll get him to the front.
Right. Yeah.
And I gotta say,
he'll get up there until he gets next to me, and then I'll have to put him in his place.
That's right. Yeah, show him where he belongs. That's
no,
right.
no pressure on you, Marty, at all. None whatsoever.
No, no.
Not to mention jumping in that iconic '62 car, but then trying to beat old Dad.
That's
He
right.
does got a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah. Good luck beating Dad in the truck, man. It's just what everybody's talking about. We got this truck we got to deal with now on the hobby stocks. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if anybody's talking about it. I haven't been around. Unfortunately, I haven't made it down there yet. But I just imagine that it is because like I said, you've dominated the whole season down there.
Yeah, and the fans love it. The drivers hate it. The drivers hate it. The fans love it.
I bet, yeah.
Every other class,
Yeah.
every other class, they love it. Just the hobby stock drivers don't like it. Everybody else loves it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's another thing. Like that, I think it's a 26 Dodge truck that runs at Tazewell in their street stocks. That truck's raced there for the whole time I've ever been going to Tazewell racing. So, I mean, that's kind of cool too. Now you got the truck at Thunder Mountain.
I like seeing. I wish there was a Ford car out there. I wish there was a Dodge car out there. Seeing different things besides the same thing. Just like we like seeing different colors out there. It breaks it up. It says, wow. You remember the Ford late model that come to Corbin a long time ago? He would come and he was hard to deal with.
Yeah. Just something different that he'd found.
Yeah.
Well, one last. We'll end with this, Wes. You know what you've got there? You've got a good piece, man. You worked hard on it on the off season. You come out of nowhere with this truck. How many times does Bo Gilley get beat? Bo, you tell me. You guys tell me. How many times does somebody beat the truck fair and square? I'm not talking about breaking or anything like that. How many times do you get beat in that truck at Thunder Mountain this year?
0.
The exact answer that I do.
They're trying to slow us down.
Yeah.
They've made us change one thing. They didn't slow us down, but they have added a weight rule in, and their rules didn't have a weight rule. And now they've added a weight rule in, so that may slow us down a little bit. But they're trying to slow us down, but we're going to work harder. If they make us change something, sometimes it actually speeds you up.
Yeah.
When they make you change it, and they're like, oops, we went the wrong way there.
You racers, man, I tell you what, it's hard to slow you down. So, and it's fun, man. It is though. All jokes aside, it's fun. And like I said, I know personally just how hard it is to be really good at building, and then also having to drive a race car, make them fast, to win a race. I think anytime somebody wins a race, man, and no matter what class it is or what they're doing, people don't realize what an accomplishment just one win is. It's hard to do.
They've done their homework. They've learned what to do. They've learned how to fix their driving. There's so many cars that's right behind me that I would love to drive because I see we study film a lot. Remember when we study film a lot, and we look at why ain't they closing the gap before they pull down to try to pass. Well, you can't, if you close them inches before you try something, you're more likely. Just so many things that there's some fast cars up there. There's some fast cars up there, and they when they get them tuned and get their driving stuff tuned in a little bit, they're going to be a lot harder to deal with. They're coming on fast.
They'll finish second, right? Because you done said you ain't getting beat. You said 0, so
we don't go to lose. I can't help it.
I get it. Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I tell you, this has been a whole lot of fun. I knew it would be. I've been so excited this week to talk about that truck. I'm telling you, I said, Wes, I can't wait, man. We've been just.
He said. Please reach out to Bo, get him on the show. I said 10-4, little buddy. I got you.
It's talk every day. It's something going on every day about it. It won't die off.
Yeah, no,
And
it won't.
That's what we're about. That's what this show's about. That's what we love, and it's getting to know the drivers.
We've actually had it called. It's been called the Craftsman Truck Series truck.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, well, shoot, that's a pretty good, a compliment. That's a good.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. Somebody saying that's something good about us building a truck out of my junkyard. That we took 3 S10s and an old cage, and we built this truck out of the junkyard.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome. Yeah, I agree. What most people wouldn't be able to do, and it's really cool. And there's so many fans out there that don't appreciate this. You guys, hobby stocks, and your ability to do what you just said. Take a couple S10s and an old cage and put a fast hot rod together. That makes local racing a heck of a lot of fun, and I love it. I do. I enjoy it more.
We actually are running on a 2-barrel with pump gas, and doing as well as we're doing with a 2-barrel on pump gas.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them won't believe us on that part, but we are running a 2-barrel with pump gas, 93 octane from Grumpy's BP right here in Winsburg. And we're doing that good. But we ain't spinning the tires off either. So a lot of stuff comes into play.
Right. Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I know exactly what you mean, for sure. Well, Bo, it's been a whole lot of fun. Thank you so much for jumping on here with us, man. Good luck the rest of the season. Can't wait to watch and see how the rest of the year goes, and I know the truck will continue to be.
I just got to keep them. Beat off of me a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah,
I just wish they would bring it. I tell everybody out there, every driver out there, bring it. Come and get it. You know what I mean? Come and get it. Don't do the crying. Come and get it. That's what I'm telling everybody out there. Come and get it.
You heard it right here on Dirt Racing.
Whenever they beat me, I will not cry a bit. I will shake their hand and I'll congratulate them. I won't say, that shock ain't right or this is bull crap. I'll be back the next week to beat them.
Yeah, I love it, man.
All right. One last question. Does Bo Gilley have like a nickname? Do we have a race car name?
Bo Show.
The Bo Show, man. He's got it right there.
It's coming along.
Well, I mean, the Bo Show, the Williamsburg Wild Man. I don't know.
The Bo Show. It's right there on the screen, Wes. How can you miss it, isn't it?
The truck's got its name. It's White Lightning. But
White Lightning.
The nickname is coming along. The Bo Show's coming along.
The Bo Show.
It's sticking a little bit there.
I think it's just the truck, man. That's all we need. When we reference it, it's the truck, buddy. It's
White Lightning.
Yeah, White Lightning. So, yeah. All right, buddy. Have a good rest of your week. We'll see you down at Thunder Mountain. Maybe somewhere else by the end of the year. Who knows? But if not, we'll see you at Thunder Mountain.
Hey, if we can make it there to Victory Lane, I'll be ready for that interview with y'all.
All right. Sounds good.
Sounds good, buddy.
Hey, y'all have a good one.
Yeah, you too. See you, buddy. Bye.
That was as much fun as I knew it would be all along, Wes. That's why I said all week I've really been looking forward to that. Nobody like Bo Gilley, but it is cool though to hear race car drivers talk about just their desire to win, to be fast.
He's got such a strong desire. We know how hard he works, and when stuff happens, to that car throughout the night, him, Marty, the whole crew, they're over there just thrashing, working their tails off, and then I got to say, there's another one that'll help jump in and help other drivers too around him that needs help. I've seen him do that. So, he's a wild man, though.
He is, yeah. Well,
great catching up with him.
It was, yeah. Well, and it's conversations like this and on this show that I feel like if more fans, like if fans can't grab onto that, our fans right here in this area, because we've still got a lot of fans out there, man, and we've talked about it before on this show. We're all about here on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live. We're all about just local racing, local drivers, man, getting them on here, hearing from them, hearing what they've got to say, talking about the truck, whatever we can do to connect our drivers with our local fans here. Local racing, hobby stock racing, front wheel drive racing, Crown Vics, whatever it is, modifieds, late models, all of them. It's all so much fun. And I really feel like if more fans could just give that a chance, give people like Bo those personalities, those guys, and really could get to know them and connect with them, they'd see just, how much fun it is. Because it really
exactly
is.
Right.
Man.
It is. And I know people think I'm crazy, like my love for dirt racing, but I want to be the first one there at the gate, and I want to be the last one to leave. And I love it. And I enjoy from the time I get to the track to the time I leave, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it is. And it's like we talked about last week. I think it was I think it was on the post show that nobody else got to listen to. But I know that our numbers are never, our numbers and stuff on here, because we're doing local stuff. We're trying to grow local racing. We're trying to help people get to know some of these drivers and stuff, and build our sport right here in Kentucky.
Yeah,
our numbers are never going to be, what you see nationally and that sort of stuff, man. And I'm completely okay with that, because this is fun to me.
Yeah,
stuff like this, getting on here and talking to him, and it's just so much fun. And then when you go to the track, it makes it more fun too, because you feel that you feel that connection, like you understand these guys more and where they come from and what they're about.
And it's cool because him, like all the other drivers that we've had on here and talked to, they're appreciative of what we're doing, and we're appreciative of them, being the driver, the track promoter, series director, whatever it may be, concession stand worker. It don't matter if you've got something, if you've got a job or you're at that track doing whatever, we're all for you and appreciative of you, and and that's what this show is about, is talking to those people, hearing those stories, and it's cool. I watched him race years and years ago when I was little at Corbin, and so cool to keep watching him now race on the dirt. So
it is.
Good show.
It's, very, very cool, and a whole lot of fun, like I knew it would be. So let's go ahead with our Keltner Contracting weekend outlook. Be sure to get up with Keltner Contracting for all your HVAC needs, ductwork, cleaning, all that good stuff. They'll take care of you. We appreciate them and their support of our show. But our weekend outlook, man, we've got 8 right here in Central Kentucky, right here in our little area. We've got 8 events coming up this weekend, starting with Friday night, but 8, man. 6 on Saturday. Again, it's just crazy to think.
It is crazy.
How does this even work? I'm not sure, but yeah, hopefully we can keep it going, because Friday night you got the KDRA Superstock Series at Mountain Motor Complex. So a big event for them. The series really be a cool Friday night down there at Mountain Motor Complex. I know they're all looking forward to it and ready to get back going with the Superstock Series. So and then they go to 191 on Saturday too. But so a big weekend doubleheader for the Superstock Series.
Yeah, they had a rain out 2 weekends ago, I guess it was, and so I'm sure those guys have worked on their cars and ready for this weekend's series races at Mountain Motor Complex in 191.
Yeah, ready for it. I am sure. 5,000 win American All-Star Series at Ponderosa on Friday night. Man, you talk about just horrible luck with weather there at Ponderosa. Forecast already not looking good. I think last time I looked there for Ponderosa. So hopefully that changes, man, and then get the season just started there.
I know it.
At the pond. So be a good race, doubleheader weekend for the American All-Stars. So, but hate this weather stuff, buddy. It's rough on track promoters, I tell you.
Fingers and toes crossed.
Yeah, that's right. So hopefully they can get that one in. Full support classes there. And be a big night if they can get it in. So we shall see. But then on Saturday, like I said, that's a doubleheader. The Bluegrass Shootout, they're calling it. 5,000 to win at Lake Cumberland Speedway. So for our pro late models here in this area, big doubleheader coming up this weekend at Ponderosa and on Saturday at Lake Cumberland.
Yeah, really hoping we can get them in because just last Saturday, just a regular show, 2,000 to win, had 23 crate late models there at Lake Cumberland Speedway. So always fun when American All-Stars roll into town.
Yeah, absolutely. It is for sure. So we talked about the doubleheader with KDRA Superstock Series being at 191 Speedway on Saturday. And you got a regular show at Rockcastle. On Saturday, a regular show at Mud Lick. Saturday, sprints at Florence this coming Saturday. I think this is the first year in a while. They've actually got a couple sprint shows I noticed on their schedule coming up for Florence. So I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun for those folks up there to see the sprints. We talked about this before, but I've never seen a sprint show live. I know you have a couple times at Charlotte, but I never have. So something different.
I'm trying to break over and watch some sprint stuff this year, and I got a good buddy, Chase Swafford. He loves the sprint cars, and he tries to get me to go to a show very often throughout the years. So
yeah,
I don't know. You gotta go watch them because they do put on a heck of a show.
Yeah,
and when they wreck, they wreck.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they did. No, I know that. I've seen that on the flow racing or whatever on TV. So, but never seen a sprint show live. So, go check that out at Florence if you're up in that area on Saturday. And then there's a regular show at Willard Speedway. So you've got 6 tracks scheduled to have events right here in our area, all at the same time on Saturday. And I don't know if anybody's heard or not, but I think there's a new track in the works over there at Lawrenceburg. So, and I hear that according to Jeff Soxie with Race Rumble, he's been posting some updates about that on his Facebook page. I think maybe by the end of summer or something, they're planning on having a practice there. So
that's the word on the street.
Hey man, I could see a day here coming up soon where we could have 7, 8 if the schedule, we could have 9 events coming right here. All on the same night.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? I don't know, man. Like, it's just, that's a lot. It really is. I feel for tracks when it comes to trying to work on scheduling because, man, it's a challenge. But
yeah,
I guess you do the best you can on that. So,
yep.
It's a lot. So we'll see how that all plays out. Good luck to everybody coming up this weekend, wherever you decide to attend. And one last thing here on the podcast, maybe the most important, as Wes tries to take the title back this year. I'm inching closer. It's 2-1 now after my big victory this past weekend there, picking Dustin Duncan at Lake Cumberland Speedway. So I'm feeling a little better about myself. We're like 10 weeks in the show already, and I finally got it. I'm finally on the board. Good thing is Wes ain't had much luck either. He's only got 2. So
the only reason I've not had good luck is that R word that we don't like to talk about.
Yeah, yeah, right. That's exactly right. Superstock Series. Let's dirtmandiecast.com steak dinner pick'em challenge. Let's go Superstock Series at Mountain Motor and 191. Let's pick both of them for our KDRA Superstock Series. And since I'm still, I said before, kind of make the rules up here as I go. But since I'm still behind here 2-1, I'll pick first for Mountain Motor Speedway Superstock Series. I'm gonna go with the C24 CNC Motorsports machine. He drive shaft or something came out of that car last weekend at Richmond and tore through the cockpit. I know Jimmy had hurt his leg. It was crazy the damage that was done to that race car, but I think they'll get that back together. I think Jimmy Robinson wins at Mountain Motor Speedway on Friday.
Complex.
Mountain Motor Complex, that's right. Don't tell him I said Speedway. It's Complex. Nobody's listening. It's all right.
He's going to get you. He'll go back and watch it if he's not watching now.
Just between me and you. This is the post show. Mountain Motor Complex.
It ain't the post show yet. All right. I'm going to go with Bartley Grant. Get the W at Mountain Motor Complex on Friday night.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I like it. Bartley could definitely get it done there. Unique thing about that, most of these guys don't run down there a whole lot, so a little bit of a different challenge for all of them. Most of those Superstock guys run around here quite a bit, but new place for them down there at Mountain Motor Complex. So we'll see how it shakes out. I'd say that's a good pick for sure. Let's go to 191 Speedway on Saturday night, KDRA Superstock Series. I'll let you have first pick on this one at 191. Who you think wins at 191 Speedway?
I'm going to go with Jimmy Robinson. Let's see, 24.
I see what
I'm
you're
telling
doing.
you. He is, he's good wherever he goes.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good pick. What's cool is, both tracks a little different. Maybe not as many laps that the drivers will have, on both of these two tracks. So,
Sure.
Like you said, just a kind of a new track two new tracks to throw in the mix, and wish the best for those guys.
Yeah, sure
I'm gonna go with Jimmy Robinson.
Yeah, it'd be a good challenge for him this weekend. Well, I'm going to take a gamble here on who's going to be where, and I don't know, who knows, he may be up in New York or something in a modified, but just in case he decides to stick around home, I'm going to go with the Tidal Wave Terror, Blake Brown, in that 35 car. If he shows up, he'll be hard to beat there. So at both places, who knows? Like I said, he may not even be there. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm gonna go with Blake Brown at 191 Speedway.
That's a good pick. If he shows up, there's another one. No matter where he goes, he's always in the hunt to get the W.
Yep, always tough to beat for sure. So can't wait. Hopefully, like I said, Mother Nature decides to cooperate with us racing family here this coming weekend. Really looking forward to it. A lot of big events coming up, so it'll be a whole lot of fun for like I said, both the Superstock Series. You got the American All-Star Series here in our area this weekend, so a lot of big events. Get out, support your local racetrack wherever we might have. It might have been more fun this weekend, Wes, to try to pick who's going to get the show in as our steak dinner pick'em challenge. That'd probably been, it's like, how many will it be? 2? Will it be, how many of the 2 out of 6 or what? So I don't know. Hopefully all of them, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I hope so. But regardless, hopefully everybody gets the show in. But as Josh said, go out and support your local racetracks this weekend. And we will see you back next Wednesday, same time, same place.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be here. We'll see you at the races. Thank you, everybody, for watching here with us and tuning in. We appreciate every one of you.
Thank you, guys.